Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I'm Brad Rohr.
I'm Chuck Staten.
And I am Ray Harrington.
And this episode we are joined
Are we getting married?
in holy
Dearly
matrimony.
beloved, in this episode, we will be joined.
We are joined by stand-up comedian Raanan Hershberg. He sat down with us to kind of talk about his new special coming out, Jokes from the Underground, available at jokesfromtheunderground.com.
Yes.
As we learn in this episode.
Yes.
And I did not know Raanan coming into this episode. I think Chuck had some experience. I don't know if Ray had met him.
Yeah, we did a show or two together.
Yeah, he's super funny, great comic. His special, Jokes from the Underground, is actually out right now at the website Brad said, jokesfromtheunderground.com. Go check it out. But after you listen to this podcast, where we get into some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the underground, I feel like some stuff bubbled up, and I was not expecting a lot of the conversation to happen.
Yeah.
I regret it.
I'm a little bit worried
Yeah.
about the girl that I accused.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm not worried about the person I accused.
Yeah.
I'm more just worried that it's there.
I just want to say this out loud. I think that in a future episode, Brad has to accuse someone of something.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So start thinking.
Guess who I'm going to accuse, Chuck?
So start.
I will be a character witness.
Yes.
Enjoy our talk with the wonderful Raanan Hershberg. This should be a new gimmick of our podcast, where this arm of this mic is attached to a rolling chair, and the other rolling chair arm is attached to that arm. So whenever we do one of these, it goes back and
Yep.
forth.
It's an interesting tug of war.
Yeah.
What we like is production value.
Well, it kind of creates this like visual for power dynamics.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what do you think? And
They don't want to
to
go with me on this. I keep saying we put the guest in the chair and start rolling down the street.
with a headset.
But what's his mic? Is his mic
He has a
another
headset.
mic?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
like
has
the
a full
headset.
headset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Kinda
fun.
And it's attached to a GoPro directly in front of his face.
Maybe we do some Jackass stuff that he's not ready for.
I like that, yeah.
Slap you with a fish. Shit like that.
You with a fish.
No, like an old timey Jackass. I like that idea.
Ooh.
I like a vaudeville level Jackass.
Vaudeville Jackass is actually a great idea for a sketch.
Thank you.
Can I-
A series.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? You probably hate me. I'm not crazy about Jackass. I try to get into it.
It's okay.
I really like. I saw that movie Bad Grandpa, and I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. Did you like Borat?
Yeah, I love Borat.
Borat's great.
But I thought the Bad Grandpa was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it was like this narrative. But I tried to watch the latest Jackass. I haven't seen like hardly anything. I tried to watch the latest one.
The latest one's a little bit.
But I'm like, they're doing it to themselves. So
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
it takes away some of the like, oh, I'm gonna put a firecracker in my ass and then it'll blow up. But it's like, but you did it. Like to me, like slapstick is like
you got to put a firecracker in someone else's ass.
yeah, or it's like slapstick is like like in Bad Grandpa when he's. I think one of the funniest things ever when he's trying to sell the stuff in his house and he gets someone to press that bed and the bed collapses over him.
Yeah.
Well, that's hilarious.
But that's like a thing where it's like at least it creates the illusion that he's fallen into this thing.
Yes.
But I
Right.
think like it's like watching if Charlie Chaplin like poured like threw the banana on the ground and then walked. It's just
That's
like
funny.
It takes away some of the like I don't know. But everyone said it's brilliant and shit. I don't know.
I think, I mean, to be completely honest, I think Jackass found its magic by having this punk rock DIY TV show, then getting given a budget and made these grand ideas.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
first Jackass movie, the second one, the fourth one, which is the new one that you're watching, is kind of them saying, I know we're old, we're still doing it. Here's the new cast members. And I think it might be the weakest of the four movies.
Right.
You know what it is? It's the last bachelor party that a group of friends ever have.
Yeah,
You know?
it's not for me. Like
For
I
a
haven't
second
seen any
marriage?
of the other. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just
Yeah.
came and I hadn't been to the other.
And
ones.
I gotta say, I think maybe you don't like OG Jackass because you feel unrepresented. Because it is
No
just a bunch of
Jews?
white fellas.
Well, thanks for saying that I'm not white. A lot of people think Jews are, so
Well-
I appreciate it.
That's not what I meant. I guess I don't know. My,
It is what you
my
meant.
Jewish friends, they
what
make
else could you
sure.
have been?
Yeah, I know. What are you talking about? What could you have meant?
I guess like I
have a feeling you think-
waspy guys, waspy dudes.
yeah.
You know,
They're not waspy.
they're not. They're not walking around in polos. But
I don't care that you meant Jewish, but you definitely could only mean Jewish. What else could you mean? No, I don't mean Jewish. I meant they were like Gentile.
I gotta go. I gotta
I'm not
leave.
offended.
I can't be
I'm just
here.
like,
I don't know. My Jewish friends make sure to let me know that is not just white.
yeah.
Knoxville is like close to a hillbilly to me.
But I know it's hard to believe,
Yeah.
but Jews can actually appreciate non-Jewish things.
Is that true? Is that true?
We're not just only if it's not Seinfeld, I don't want to watch it. You know what I mean?
I heard the opposite. I really did hear the
I
opposite.
like Curb.
But I do like Borat, which is the Jewish version. So yeah, maybe
Yes.
but I like Nathan for you. He's pretty waspy, Canadian.
He's waspy.
Nathan, what? There can't be Canadian Jews?
They could, but it's not him.
You know what? I heard that this
Actually,
year-
wait, maybe he is Jewish. I don't know.
I think
I was gonna
honestly think Nathan Fielder might be Jewish, and I think if you look at Nathan Fielder, I think he embodies a lot of the cultural
You're right.
aspects
All
of
right, maybe I
Judaism.
just don't like non-Jewish. Maybe it has nothing to do with
This
Jack.
is what I said. This is
Is
what I said.
everything I
earlier.
like Jewish? Name something not Jewish. I'll say if I like it or not.
McDonald's? I don't know. I panicked. I absolutely
You sure did.
panicked.
I don't like McDonald's. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Case closed. We don't need any other examples.
Right.
I was going to say
The most famous example of gentilism.
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Can we pretend that we just said the thing about Nathan Fielder being Canadian and waspy? Can we
Sure.
pretend that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the Canadian wasps are really dangerous this year. That's my joke.
I like how you're the
you
guy on
wanted us
the
all
guy
to
on
go
the
back.
he's the guy on the improv team. Can we go back actually? I had a line.
Because I was cooking
I
it.
had a line, but you all were too quick.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to when we were in the boat. The audience will get it. Go back
Since
to when
we're-
in the boat. Just say that line again. I'll fucking.
Since we're doing
Just keep
flashbacks.
tagging people out to get back to the boat.
Since we're doing flashbacks right now, I would like to flash back to the moment when you and my worst fear as just
what happened? Is that a thing?
That's a
or-
birthmark.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I
No,
don't remember it
no,
last
that's
time.
okay.
That's why.
Yeah, it only shows up when I'm uncomfortable.
When you're around Jews.
It pulses. Oh no! It pulses when he's around Jewish people. He starts turning black and white like he's in Schindler's List.
I don't remember it before.
That is the thing.
Did it go in and out? I don't remember before.
It does kind of, yeah. Well, we were in a
interesting.
tent at night.
True.
That's a good point.
That is
Yeah,
a good point. yeah.
shadows.
So I want to be clear about this, and I can't believe it happened. So my biggest fear is like this moment that was a few minutes ago, where you threw this thing out where it was like, "Hey, Ray, you might be racist, right?" And I got so
No,
scared.
that wasn't what I meant. I meant the
No, I
opposite.
know,
I
I
was
know.
appreciating that you thought I was.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was like a lot of people
right.
think Jews are like white. I'm like, thank you.
Right, yeah, because my Jewish friends, I have a very close friend who is Jewish, and then some others, and I've checked.
No, I don't want to be white. I want to get
can't
fucking.
possibly be an anti-Semite. I have a Jewish friend.
Yeah, I think I've
I
heard
don't want
that.
to. I don't want to be.
And here he is. He comes through the door.
You find out it's just me. We became really close friends.
Now, what do you think?
We've been friends since Rhode Island Festival. Even I
10?
don't remember you. No, I don't want to be seen as white because I
No.
want to get booked more. So
I
like
understand
I
that,
meant
yeah.
that like sincerely.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
I'm
Because
sorry. I hope it didn't come off as sarcastic.
no, not at all. But it made me extremely nervous. But at the end of it, what ended up happening, it was you who were the one that was
Presumptuous.
a little racist, and so I feel good.
Wait, how was that racist?
We'll have to watch the playback, but it really did come out that way. I think so. Welcome
just-
to another episode of Funbearable, the podcast you've been watching or listening to. We didn't get a chance to do the open, so it's not a cold open. It's more of a lead up,
Yes.
and that will be played in court one day, and I'm really excited about that.
Right.
I'm Ray Harrington.
Chuck Staten.
Brad Roar.
And our guest today, I was saying Raanan Hershberg.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was Raanan.
You can go either way.
All right,
Which
either
one
way.
do you prefer?
I don't. I'm open because it's a Hebrew name, so it needs. I'm not Israeli, so you need a Israeli accent to say it correctly. It's like Raanan, you know.
Oh, Raanan.
It has that
Oh, yeah.
guttural sound.
Yeah, that
But in
kid-
English, you don't have a guttural sound, so it
I
kind
don't
of
know.
makes
Have
it
you
kind of
been
makes
to
it.
Philly?
It kind of makes it a choose your own like adventure in terms of the emphasis because you
Yeah.
could say Raanan, but that's a little cumbersome.
Right.
Raanan is a little easier, like on a linguistic level. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
The
I guess
tongue
the
gets
question
to
is
it.
like, which one do you emphasize? I went with Raanan.
Yeah. I'm cool with either. I really am. People are like,
Okay.
no, you got to have a preference. I'm like, I don't. My preference is to just make you feel like I know, like just know that I don't care. Like I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Yeah.
how about just last name
Yeah, you can do that.
or like
Hershberg.
or like a fun nickname?
Yeah.
R Hirsch.
I was gonna show last weekend. The host, he was nice, but he was like, "All right, I want to make sure I got your name right." So it's Raanan Hershberg. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, no pressure, by the way.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then he goes on stage. He goes, "Give it up for Raanan Hirschman." And I was like, well, you could have got it.
well, I didn't
That was a little too lack
maybe
of
I should have pressure.
just a little pressure. Like, you got to get the last.
I remember being in those days of hosting and stuff, and being like getting a name right before you have to bring them up.
Yeah.
And I do remember those days where somebody just has like 50 syllables in the name. You can't remember shit, and you get up there and you're like, oh, everybody give it up for Bill Heyman-Abel! If you just clap
I
hard
feel like in
enough,
this scenario,
people
it's Bill Engvall coming on stage and he's looking it up.
and he's like, it's an easy name to remember. It's an easy name. It's Bill Engvall.
No, of course. I didn't think it was like a weekend. So it was only just me and him and another comic. I just thought that fucker would be on the Raanan. You know what I mean? It was like Hirschman, Hershberg. I was like, no pressure, but I guess I meant no pressure if you enunciate, but not like, I don't give a shit. No one, but you added a whole other.
There's no man in the name.
Yeah, there's no man in the name.
We did bring that comic in today, and he's gonna walk through that door in a second.
No pressure. He's like,
Did he preface with my good friend, and then mispronounce your name? Because that happens more often than it should, and I love it every moment. He's like,
lying?
he's so funny. He's a good friend of mine. You're gonna love him. Everybody, give it up for Ray Harriman. Here he comes, right?
Well, the problem is, I've seen people say good friend. The really awkward thing is I'll see a comic go on the stage after that and be like, we're actually not friends. And then it gets really awkward.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's just like, all I know about you now is that you've denied being his friend.
Right.
All I know is that
You got
are,
a yes and that situation.
Yeah. You're like, it'd be like him, like, can we go back? And that's your first impression of the comic, that they're fucking Peter from the Jesus Betrayal. I've denied you 3 times. You know what I mean?
you know what happened to us recently on
I
stage?
read the other book. That's
Damn,
right.
this guy's got a lot of Jesus knowledge. Holy shit.
I'm only halfway through Judges right now. So
What happened to us
really
recently-
interested to see what happens.
All 3 of us were on stage, and there was a comedian coming up who doesn't use his legs.
No. How dare you describe this?
I don't know how to
He's a
say it.
differently abled gentleman, right?
His legs do not.
Worsely abled or better abled? How do you like that?
Differently.
Is it different?
Not worse, not better, just
is
different.
it different something you'd really be upset about? if
It's
it was
same
good?
way-
The same way I would describe it after like sleeping with 2 women at the same
Yeah.
time and they asked how it was, I would say different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not better, not worse.
So if you woke up
different.
with this ability, would you be like, oh, this is different? Or would you be like, fuck? Which one?
I would say, fuck, this is different.
Separate. It's separate but equal. Okay, that's
His
what it
legs
is.
are separate but equal. So he's
his
got
legs-
to walk.
his
I
legs
feel like all differently abled is not.
Yeah,
No,
that's a good
it's
point.
not good. It's not
unless
good.
it's like a superpower.
Like Daredevil or
Spider-Man
something,
is differently abled.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he's also not real.
Yeah.
So within
Well,
the reality.
I'll say this:
Wait.
like, there's 4 people in the room. We are all differently able.
That's true.
we
That's
all
also
have different
true.
levels of ability.
Yeah,
but
that's
when
true.
they use the term differently able,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they never don't mean that.
They
yeah.
never mean
definitely
better.
not a lateral move.
Yeah. And you know what sucks? You know what sucks? I feel like I identify a lot with him, with his ability. I feel like we're on a fairly even keel.
Yeah,
We
because-
both don't like looking at a set of stairs in front of us.
That's hilarious. This is great. Keep going.
No, I don't like that. When you get that excited, I know I'm in the wrong space. I think it's a very similar situation.
Yeah.
I'd like to park as close as possible to the place I'm going.
You're like,
Keep
I'm
going.
so fat, I demand to be considered disabled.
Yes.
I've been fighting for that for years.
And get bookings.
That's true.
Diverse and disabled. That's,
Yeah. So what is his thing?
So his
I don't
legs
know
don't
the
work.
technical-
His legs don't work.
His legs ain't work. How about that?
Yeah, his legs ain't work. Yeah.
His legs ain't work. And
That is different.
He's in this kind of like he's in kind of this crutches wheelchair. hybrid.
It's a walker.
It's a walker.
Yeah.
I'm making it worse than it is.
Yes, you are.
You're
Yeah.
fucking
And
differently
he
able.
said,
His father works for Scrooge.
so he said to us, all
He's
of
got
us,
Tiny Tim disease.
he said, when I come on the stage, there's like a little bit of a step. He's like, don't help me up, even if it looks like I'm struggling.
And he said that to them. He didn't tell me this.
Okay, right.
So he's coming up on stage.
He's got a line.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Let me set this up. Why do you think he doesn't want us to help
He
him?
just
He's
said
got a
that.
line.
Yeah.
He goes on stage and builds up this tension, and then he has some line that releases the
And
tension.
Oh,
now,
see?
are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I didn't think that. I thought that he just wanted to not
no.
appear like he needed help.
Right.
Oh no. There's
That's what
always
I
some
thought.
line where you're like, "Ugh," and then you're like, and then you say, "But I get fucking laid all the time." You know what I mean?
We'll
Or
get there.
some
We'll
shit
get
like
there
that.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Because they know that he doesn't want them to say anything. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the closest to the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
It's a high stage. You've been to the Rhode Island Comedy Connection?
No, but I
No.
can imagine.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you keep at it. You'll get there. And so he's coming up. I'm closest to the edge of the stage. He's struggling to get up there. I have that moment.
He's not
in
struggling.
Me.
He's just having a different way of getting on stage.
Yeah,
than everyone
he's-
else.
Yeah.
It's
So
just a different.
It's a
adventure.
different journey.
right, yeah. Some one man's stage is another man's
Mountain.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone's
Mountain
watching. Go.
climbing.
Wow, this is different.
Yeah.
Different way.
Yeah, it's
Different
quite
way of getting on the
different.
stage.
So anyway,
breathing
he's in the
heavily.
harness, he's yelling on belay. The
Yeah.
rope is going.
Yeah.
Slithering.
Yeah. So he's in a tiny dumbwaiter. He's going up,
Yep.
and so I look at him. I have a moment where I'm like, should I help you or do you not want help in this situation? I completely understand when somebody's like, please don't help me. That is demeaning. I don't want that.
Right.
And I make eye contact with him and I do a little. I just one quick like, should I do it? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, fine, dignity. I get it. Go ahead. He gets up there, and then immediately he says, "Oh yeah, how about those guys not helping me out at all?"
And he gets up and he goes, huh. Thanks, guys. And everyone's like, ha ha, they're pieces of shit. That's the joke. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, he set us up.
Yeah.
Sounds like a real hack. Sounds like a differently abled comic. No, I'm joking.
No, he's a great guy.
I'm sure
He's a great guy.
It's very, very funny.
I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
yeah,
I'm
I
joking.
know, I
It's
know.
great, and I'm sure he can. It's very funny. But in your defense, in his defense, when you like nod like that,
Yeah.
it may look like you're saying, "Can I throw you into a bullseye, like a dwarf? You know, can I dwarf throw you? You have a can I dwarf toss you? Look,
I have a
Yes.
look of a dwarf
yeah, can I
toss.
dwarf
you
you?
do,
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, can I?
Yeah.
At least I ask.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It is a polite
Yeah,
thing.
it's a consensual.
You
You
know?
should always
Yeah.
ask. As long as
Always
you go
get
up
consent.
to a dwarf and be like, "Can I throw you?"
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
completely fine.
I think
And that's
so.
my new. That's my new. You've seen the pilot, the pitch deck. You've seen the pitch deck that I have for TLC.
It's Vaudeville Jackass.
Yeah,
And
the conceit of the show is the name of the show is Little People Big Ray, and I hang out with the roll-offs,
Yeah.
the family of little people that have been doing a reality show for I think
Family's
1,000
name,
years.
the
Yeah.
roll-offs?
Yeah,
That's their last name,
That's their
Roll-Offs?
name, the roll-offs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like their profession years ago.
They have a farm.
they
They
roll
do. They
off.
have a
Roll off.
farm. They
used
have a
to
pumpkin
make
farm.
money rolling off.
They have a pumpkin patch, and people go every fall and they look at the pumpkins and stuff. And I'm like, damn, guys, you were this close to a candy factory. Honestly. Sorry, this is terrible. This episode is problematic from the beginning.
Yeah, sure was.
That's my favorite kind.
Yeah, I blame Raanan.
I love cancel improv, like improvising your way into cancellation.
I like the kind of improv where you go, yeah, and
But
And then a Chinese guy comes in and we're all like, and everyone's looking at you. Nothing.
and then Brad slowly takes that insensitive hat off and puts it down. So Raanan,
I'm sure the guy's very funny. I felt bad. saying
No. Yeah, he's a
I
good
mean,
guy.
that thing's a little shitty, but you should change that opening line. But I'm sure the other stuff is great. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize because I'm feeling a little off kilter today.
Yeah.
Right now because I got a text. We're gonna go a little serious. I hope
Yeah.
that's okay. I got a text before this episode recording from my wife, and I have an 8-year-old son.
Yeah, I remember
and
you talking about him in the bit. You had some really good stuff. I don't remember it yet, but I remember thinking
you
this guy's
remember
really
being like,
funny.
this guy's
Yeah.
handsome and funny. Yeah.
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 I couldn't see the scar. Yeah.
He's
Birthmark.
different.
Oh, sorry.
He's differently attractive.
Differently attractive.
Thank you very
and,
much.
He's differently attractive.
Yeah. He's handysome.
That was good.
Thank you. So I got a text. My wife was in the car on the highway with my son, and there was like bumper to bumper traffic today, and they got up to a spot, and the reason the traffic was there was a car accident, and my wife could not shelter my son's eyes from seeing a bloodied dead body on the highway. And he's 8 years
and
old.
he was really like, well, at least there's a good reason for this because I've been waiting
Yeah,
so
oh my
long.
God.
Yeah, right.
At least
I'd
it
be
wasn't
mad
just
if it
like
was just a
flat tire or something like that.
right.
Well, at
It's
least
just a
it's
flat
high.
guy, you know.
Like, that's right. It better have been someone dead.
Right.
But it's a fucked up
That's
thing,
fucked
and
up.
I'm,
That's-
and I'm
that's very
worried. And we were
traumatizing.
talking before the episode about the idea of like how that impacts like an 8-year-old, because I think there's things that happen in your childhood that may not scar you,
Yeah.
but they imprint on you
Yeah.
in some way. And like
I love how
Brad-
your theory is just basic psychology.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I have a theory that things in your childhood really help develop who you are later on, even if you don't remember them. It's a crazy theory.
Listen, you are fucking with my book deal right now. You're fucking with my book deal.
I have this crazy theory that every guy's like deep down attracted to their mom. I don't know what it is. It's just a crazy.
Wants to kill his father, attracted to his mom.
Yeah.
The
I have a
research.
theory that even though you don't remember something from your childhood, it really kind of affects your development. And I think we should create this kind of job where someone talks to you and you start talking about your childhood and they bring it up and somehow they can maybe even, I don't know, it's crazy, but remember the thing and
Right,
get
right,
better
yes.
after.
Yes.
Ray has a lot of theories. I was sitting in the park the other day, and he just dropped an apple on my head, and he's like, "I got a theory."
See, that would be the Jackass way if Newton dropped the apple
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
head.
I drew a right triangle, and Ray was like,
I have a theorem.
So anyway, my very
Yeah, all right,
real
I'm
child
sorry.
saw a
Yes.
dead body about an hour ago.
Your child
And,
saw a dead body. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Back to Ray's 8-year-old son seeing a dead body.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so this little moment of
Oh, how bad was it though? That's the thing. 'Cause
I don't know.
Yeah.
My wife didn't send me a picture.
Are we talking Saw? Are we talking?
I mean,
Well, I just think
Probably
wouldn't it be
not Saw.
covered? Probably.
No, it wasn't covered at the time.
Was it police there?
I think they were probably getting there. Yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't hit the guy. I swear.
I think that that this will ultimately end up as a net positive, and this is not a bit that this could lead to a career as an EMT or a nurse or a doctor for Ray's son. That the idea of helping
Or
somebody.
your kid when he's older can only come if he kills the person. So
That's what I'm worried about.
What are
he's
they-
a doctor
he's either gonna
or
save-
he's a serial killer.
He's
Right.
either
Yeah.
gonna save lives or
Right, and
or
I-
he's saving a life, but only because he's choking them and he lets them breathe
Right,
a
I
little.
need to
That's-
see it
yeah.
in their eyes. Yeah, and but I think it's the thing, and I already have an unhealthy obsession with death. Right,
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
my head all the time.
Yeah.
And now my 8-year-old has seen a dead body, and I don't know how it's going to reflect. But so I'm a little off right now about that. But it does beg a decent question, and I think in a podcast setting, it's a good topic to bring up. What fucked you up?
That's
What made you into this?
I agree with that. I have a theory that like thoughts of death will make you like anxious. It can have that
For sure.
effect.
I
I'm
can
I'm trying to be a
concur.
sarcastic
Yeah,
asshole
yeah.
again. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Are we done making fun of him? All right, fine. We're done with that bit. Shit, fuck. No, sorry. I feel like I'm a
you
shitty.
don't
I'm in a
have to
shitty mood
apologize.
today. My back is like out, and I'm like.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it just really hurts.
You have a back
Sorry.
thing or no?
No, that's all right.
What?
Do you have a back problem?
Yeah, I mean, I just get like, some.
So we have like legit, all three of us,
really?
bulging discs.
Yep.
I
Oh,
just
wow.
had spine surgery. He just had spine surgery. He won't get it with us for some reason.
Yeah,
we
but-
have the punch card too, and it would be half price.
It'd be half price if he got it.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with Blue Chews. I want to see what they do for this. When I think bulging, I think Blue Chew. When you find your dick doesn't have enough life in it like it used to, it's time to chew it. Blue Chew, that is. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets, all at a fraction of the cost. Take time, anytime, to take them and have them in your body and make your penis do crazy shit. And here to tell us about that crazy shit is our friend over here, Chuck Steak.
I'm the first one out of the three to order some Blue Chew.
Yes.
Very simple process. I didn't know how it would be. I've never taken Viagra or anything like that. I've never taken that kind of stuff. And I was like, I didn't know if I'd have to get a note from my doctor, but it's way simpler than that. You just go to the website, you sign up. They have someone call you. They have a doctor call you, and you talk to them for like 30 seconds. It's nothing. And then it came in the mail immediately.
And then you came in the mail immediately. And that's why you don't have that P.O. box anymore.
But it was killer. We were gonna do the thing where you cross your arms and drink the wine, and I was like, look over there, and I threw the Blue Chew in, I ate it. And she's like, what are you chopping? That's wine. And I said, no. And then waited about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then she's like, oh my goodness gracious. Puffed up, chubbed up, and ready to go. I'll tell you that, Brad.
I wish you wouldn't.
Yeah.
They call me the Puff Chub.
No, they don't.
Please, Brad, read the copy.
Can you call me the Puff Chub?
If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. Chew it and do it. We have a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Funbearable at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's bluechew.com, code Funbearable to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. Thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the podcast.
You use Blue Chew.
Yeah.
Let's
Was
hear
your
about
experience
this.
positive?
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, I like
then
it.
we'll go back to
I'll
scarred
use it-
childhoods.
I'll use it if I'm using a condom.
Yeah.
Because I have trouble, like, with a condom, I have trouble getting it up. Like, the minute I put the condom on, it slips off. So I'll use Blue Chew whenever I use a condom. It's great.
Wow, that's interesting.
Can you say that right to the camera, please?
Blue Chew.
If you're gonna wrap it up, chew on a Blue Chew first.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
no, it's good. I fucked a long time, yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
So my 8-year-old saw.
Oh, yeah.
What
Oh, what was the question? What fucked me up as a kid?
fucked you up? Because you're a comic.
Yeah.
Something fucked you
Oh,
up.
yeah. No, I
'Cause
have
something
a-
fucked me up too. My dad wasn't around, and so laughter is a transaction of love.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I was molested by a little girl.
Really?
Like,
What?
you go
As-
first.
What?
As a kid or recently?
Yeah, as a kid. As a kid.
Now was this in a haunted house?
This is really me one-upping my I saw Jaws a little too early.
Now was this girl in a haunted house?
No.
Was this a ghost
It
child?
was just a girl, but we have to go down this road.
I think you just opened up the road.
Yeah.
I just think that when I was like 6, I
Yeah.
hope she doesn't watch this. When I was like 6, like we used to just like she would teach me how to like really make out, like really like
At 6? How
Wait,
old was she?
Yeah,
she was
that's
6.
Okay.
And we have almost the same birthday.
She's been 6 the whole time.
and
don't think
she was
he goes
pretty
over to her
sexual.
house.
She only appears one day a year
Yeah, it's really weird on a
in,
certain road.
in a cemetery.
But is it molestation? It's the same age.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, but I
What
think
are you, a defense attorney?
It's only molestation if you're gay, bro.
Your Honor. How could a 5-year-old molest a 6-year-old?
Your Honor,
doesn't work
Your
out.
Honor, he liked it. I rest my case.
It's only molestation if he's a fucking pussy.
My client, Wendy Pigtails.
He goes to the jury. Ooh. The jury's
Yeah.
no. The judge is like, no.
They call the little girl to the stand, right? But she's sitting on one of the benches watching, and she's molesting a child at that moment. Say, huh? Oh, okay, sorry. So this episode, if there were a trailer for it, so fucked up, right? So fucked up. So so she used to
I don't
teach
think
you
she-
how to make out.
Like it
at
was
6.
it was really sexual, and then she would say like we're gonna have sex, like we'll put a blanket over us, we're gonna have sex, and we never did anything like that. But it was a lot of like tongue making out
You
that I
should
remember.
try to like Me Too her now. Like you should try to get her
Hell
to lose
yeah.
her job.
I
Like,
could.
find out where she works and just be like, when I was 6 years old.
I remember where she worked then. It was but it was a lemonade stand, and I think she was the manager.
Yeah, make it sexual harassment. We were at a lemonade stand, and she was like, "What are you doing after this?" And I felt like there was a real power dynamic because she ran the lemonade
Yeah,
stand.
exactly.
I felt like I had to say, "Let's hang out,"
I had
so
to do
because
it.
I wanted to get.
You got to
more work.
boycott that lemonade
I
stand.
know.
You should fucking
Wow.
get to that'd be hilarious.
You know, and something funny.
There was a real quick before you do the funny, I'll do the serious. There was a brother and sister when I was growing up. My cousin and I, we were she's great, my cousin, and we were like brother and sister. And it was a lot of fun. And she was a tomboy. She was more boy than I was. And now that would be understood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was delicate. I was a delicate boy.
You're
I was polite.
still quite
Still
delicate.
pretty delicate.
I'm pretty
Sensitive.
delicate, yeah.
You're
if
very
glass
particular.
was pudgy,
Yeah.
is that
Is
a
there
thing?
is there something
there
that,
pudgy glass?
What breaks easier than glass? That's what you would be. A doughy. What is it called?
I didn't
Porcelain.
bring doughy into this conversation. Thank you. I'm working towards doughy. But
You're like a glass sculpture of someone big.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was
pudgy.
a brother and sister that were our age, family friends or whatever. And the sister slept over my cousin's house. The brother slept over my house one night. The sister tried to do some sex stuff with my cousin.
Yeah.
And we were all like probably 5 or 6. We were probably 6. And then the brother, we're in our sleeping bags in the living room. At some point in the night, he starts getting like handsy with me. This
Really?
is true.
How old were you?
We were both 6.
Wow.
Same thing. 6 is when it
Not the
wakes
same.
up for these people. So
Mine was like,
mine was cool. I had a cool molestation, right? Yours is dark. So, but check this out. This is not a bit. I couldn't even do this on stage because people would be like, this sucks, right?
Yeah.
This is not believable.
yeah.
This kid's getting handsy with me. I'm 6 years old. It's the 80s, right? It's 1989.
Yeah.
I take my glowworm, the little stuffed
the stuffed
animal
toy,
thing
the-
that
the-
carries
yeah.
in it,
Yeah,
the
okay.
head would glow. I grabbed the tail of it and I smashed him in the face.
Wow.
With the glowworm.
Yeah.
The hard plastic part
Yeah.
knocked him.
Wow.
He stopped. I was 6. I had no idea what any of this was, right?
Right.
It was years and years later, as a full-grown adult, I'm like I'm driving in the car with my wife, and we're at a red light or something. I was like, I was almost molested when I was 6 years old. It like clicked for me, and that glowworm saved my sweet little virgin ass.
Wow.
Wow, geez.
Yeah.
How handsy was he? What was
He was
doing?
handsy.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was stuff happening. If I gave him like a,
Yeah,
things would have happened.
Well, these fucking slumber parties when you're 6, it's like prison, man. You got to fucking fight this shit off.
Yeah.
You gotta
You were
be
like
an alpha.
It was like a Rikers, yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the girl.
He gave me some cigarettes after.
Yeah.
The girl that I was my girlfriend at the time when I was 6. She grew up and she was like super cute, and I asked her out a bunch of times, and she turned me down a lot.
See, it sounds like
This is weird.
That's
So-
a molestation story. I
Right.
feel like you're just being a prude bitch in your story.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
yeah.
Well,
my
I did.
girlfriend
I
was
went-
like, "Let's make out," and you're
I went
like,
with it.
"Oh, I'm getting molested."
I went with it. It's just
Yeah.
now looking back, I don't know. Why
It sounds
we
like
did
she
that.
was just embarrassed to be around you in public. This is a secret boyfriend kind of situation. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, but if people ask, I don't know you.
I'm thinking back to when I was 6, and I have no cool molestation stories. I just have like
Sucks for you, dude.
2 days of blank memories whenever Uncle Mike would come to visit.
I remember entering the cabin, and I remember
And
leaving.
I remember my uncle entering, and then it all goes blank.
It's tough with the uncles because the uncles, that's like the association that the uncles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like an uncle.
I'm also an
over
uncle.
the-
I'm
I
an uncle.
have
We're
like
all uncles.
7, like 6 or 7. I don't know. You know, you lose track. You know,
Yeah.
you fuck one day, fuck another next day. But like, I know.
Yeah, you don't want more than 7
I remember I
because
was
then
watching-
you can't assign them to a day of the week.
I was watching a documentary at my sister's place. She has 3 kids, and we were watching a documentary later that. It's one about like a kid. It was great called Rewind.
Yeah.
Where about a kid who gets molested by like 3 of his uncles at different times. I'm
Oh my
watching. I'm just gonna
God.
be like, by the way, I'm not fucking any of your
that's-
kids. By the way.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not-
That's
I'm
got to be
Yeah.
weird as the uncle.
Yeah,
Sitting
like,
there
oh,
going, look at
Jesus,
it.
yeah.
And
Not
you,
all
and you
uncles.
wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
This looks
I'll give
interesting.
you. You know, I just thought of a weird thing that I don't know if we've ever talked about in the podcast. There was a young lady I was interested in. She was 18. I was. This is a while back, and I remember we
Last
were like
February.
we were hanging out, and I remember she told me she's like you know, one time she's like, I had sex with my like older cousin. And I was like, really? And it was like her first cousin. She's like, yeah, I had sex with my older cousin like a bunch of times. And I'm like, what happened? And she was like, I don't know. He just like tried to do stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, that's really weird. She's like, yeah. She goes, his little brother was really attracted to me too. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, also your cousin? She's like, yeah. And she's like, he was really like annoyed that I had sex with the older brother. And I was like, that's weird. She's like, yeah. So I gave him a hand job. And I was like,
And
this
then-
is the grossest
and then
thing I've
you're
ever
like-
heard in my life.
And then you're like, are you okay with me talking about this on a podcast? And she's like, absolutely not.
But it's like she's banging. If that wasn't her cousin, it was just 2 guys that were brothers.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
And then they're
Yeah.
both her cousins. It's so weird.
Yeah. Hey, what is this podcast?
This-
What is this show that we're doing
This
right now?
is- this
Started
is
with
the-
you being
for?
racist.
This is the
Whoa,
unbearable
hold up.
part.
It started with someone trying to throw racism, the accusation of it at me. It bounced off. It
I
stuck to
never-
him.
I
Because
never-
I'm rubber, he's glue.
Why would you think I was? All I said was, I appreciate you think I'm not white.
Yeah.
I was saying that as a compliment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah.
Do you want to sleep
You
over?
non-Jews are so fucking,
you wanna sleep
so
over
fucking
tonight?
touchy.
You don't happen to be my cousin, dude.
This is a weird place to be, and I apologize. I'm sorry for bringing you into a conference room to talk about childhood sexual
Trauma,
assault.
yeah.
Classic business meeting conversation.
So who molested you?
Not knowing that I remember, but like, you
Okay.
know, as your theory, it might, you know, just be there. I don't know. Like I was never molested. But I saw Jaws when I was 5 a lot, and I think that fucked me up a little.
Oh, sure. Yo, Jaws will fuck you up hard.
Yeah, I
5
think
years
so.
old. I loved it, but
Same thing with me, Jurassic Park, when I
me
was
too.
like
I
8 or 9.
Yeah, me 8 or 9 too. I saw it in theaters. It was
Yeah.
the greatest experience of my life.
Me too.
Peed my pants twice.
I love it.
Damn, twice.
The raptor pops out when he has Samuel L. Jackson's
Yeah, yeah.
arm. We went to go see it like 5 years ago, and Brett
Judas
shrieked when that happened
All
in
right.
the theater.
Not 5 years. I mean, I was a grown adult.
Within
and
the past 10 years.
it
You mean
just-
when the raptor breaks in right when she says we're back on?
yes, exactly.
just-
The hand thing is very stupid.
It startled
That's
me.
like
Yeah,
the
the
next,
hand is dumb.
The hand is so stupid because where's that
makes
hand just
perfect sense.
waiting to just fall down?
I was just startled and possibly made like a 2 decibel yelp.
I do
squeak.
that all the time. I love jump scares and I jump all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then that's
Uncle.
But then Chuck starts laughing. The whole theater's pointing at me. It's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
You wet
I'm
your
crying. I wet
pants.
my pants.
Yeah, right.
It was a
diaper
thing.
baby.
And then you have to explain to everybody, no, I peed because I was so embarrassed,
Yeah.
not because I was scared.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole thing.
And they're like, "How is that better?" And then I thinking about that, I poop myself.
yeah,
So
exactly.
what
I did
two-
pee twice
yeah,
while
what two
watching Jurassic
moments?
Park.
Yeah, honestly.
I peed when the T-Rex attacks the kids in the car because
Yeah.
Spielberg's like evil genius is he knew kids were like I was like convinced those kids were goners.
oh,
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
And then I peed again because I didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah,
I peed
yeah.
for reasons.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
you know,
You
I'm
know, it's
just
a good
gonna do
movie
it.
when you soil yourself for 2 different reasons.
Right.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I was a kid, I had a stomach ache and I stayed home from school. And then my mom took me to see a movie, and I saw The Invisible Man with Chevy Chase, and I shit my pants.
That movie's really scary. I remember being disturbed by that movie as a kid.
Really?
Well, there's like it's like there's like some killings in that are like kind of disturbing.
In the Chevy Chase one?
Yeah, the Chevy Chase one is not a comedy.
Are there killings in the Chevy Chase
Yeah.
one?
I don't know, Chucky.
I don't think I've ever seen The Invisible Man
Chucky
with Chevy
Chase? What do you guys
They
think?
kill some people like in a
Sure,
disturbing
sure,
way,
yeah,
like
yeah.
to like cover up evidence.
Yeah, but I thought
I
the
remember
sex
there's
scene
one
was
scene. I
good.
haven't seen it in years. There's one scene where they're like, they have to kill someone. Like you're gonna have to take this injection, and like they kill him by forcing him to take an injection. It's like, but they don't show it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they just show
yeah.
them negotiating it beforehand. It's just like really.
The sex scene was intense.
I don't remember the sex scene.
You could see inside. it was messed up. It was really messed up.
It'd be funny if Chevy Chase was the Invisible Man, but then it turned out to be Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man when it came out. The black one. Oh, did you all think the other one? Why would you think that?
I like the idea of Chevy Chase being the Invisible Man now and just like yelling at people on set.
Oh yeah.
in a full green screen suit. Just yelling at Dan Harmon.
It is funny that Invisible Man meant to like for like black people. It's like what was it like to be invisible in society? For white people, it's like wouldn't it be cool to be invisible in society?
It came out as a genuine like comment on like racial constructs in society, and then we like as white people, the three of us,
Yes.
just the three of us, we took that and went, yeah, and mummies and it's like, wait, no.
Yeah, no, it's a funny. I think it's originally a concept in Plato. They have a discussion about if you had an invisible cloak and could like commit crimes, would you do it? You know?
Sure. Well, there's that old thing of the
would.
idea of like the question between would you want the power of invisibility or flight, and that's supposed to tell you a little bit about the person's personality.
Really?
Yeah.
I
meaning-
would pick flight every time.
Don't give me
you
either
are
of them.
classic flight.
Too
You are
much
classic
responsibility.
flight.
I'll stay my same level of ableness.
So here's
Why am I classic flight?
Here's the theory. Here's one of my
Fly
one
like
of my
anywhere,
theories.
like just fly anywhere,
you can no you personally can fly like a Superman flight kind of thing
or invisible.
or be invisible.
Wouldn't everyone
like,
do flight?
like invisible
This
woman.
is my thing.
This is
Check
like
this
it's
out.
about travel.
No, but check this out. Here's the working theory. Chuck Klosterman did this. I love Chuck Klosterman. In this theory, people who choose invisibility have a sense of either a slight nefariousness because most of invisibility
Yeah,
is
it means you want to rape.
You want to deceive.
I just
Yeah.
want to look.
Yeah, it means it's a sexual
No
thing.
touch, just
Yeah,
look.
Yeah.
Right. Or you have like a deep insecurity of some kind, and you are kind of used to that idea,
Or
right?
you want to hear people talking shit about you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's a horrible nightmare to have, right?
But I also feel like if you're, I've thought about this. If you're invisible, I feel like you'd get hit by a car. I would get hit by a car so quickly.
Yeah,
I just
you'll
walk across
forget.
the street forgetting that I'm invisible.
Yes.
and
Can I
I
tell
just
you,
fucking get hit.
Today, with the texts I was getting from my wife, I wish an invisible man got hit by a car.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right? That was a callback that normally callbacks would be funny.
Yeah, that wasn't a funny one.
was just
no.
a sad one.
I was just sad. R.I.P. that guy.
Yeah.
But
But no, and then flight, the theory is with flight, it's all show.
Oh, yeah, the Chuck is a classic
Chuck
flight.
said, flight, for sure, 100%. Why would anybody choose anything else? I'm like,
well,
classic.
hold on.
Yeah.
Some of us have 2 homes in different states. So the travel is
Oh,
part
you
of
do?
it. Yeah.
He has,
Where?
he has to stay at
Rhode
a
Island.
halfway house half the time.
Oh, really?
I have a house in Rhode Island and an apartment in New York.
What are you all from Rhode Island?
And neither
Yes.
one of
No,
them
I'm
can
from
be
Maine. I live in
within
Rhode Island.
500 feet of a school.
Yeah,
And that includes air. you can only
Here's the thing
fly.
about being invisible, though. Like,
Yeah.
if you're invisible, you can go on any plane for free. So
Right,
you can
right.
kind of fly.
Throwing
for
the
free.
weight off.
Yeah,
you gotta
still
be
gotta-
careful of where people are walking. on the
Yeah,
plane.
it's hard.
Especially
It's probably
me.
difficult.
Especially
And
me.
also,
you think
what
I'm
if the-
sneaking onto shit? And no way.
And what if the flight's full?
Yeah,
then
people
you're standing,
and then
you're
people
like
have to
stuck in
hear
the
me
back.
you're
going
doing the
like,
thing where you're like above the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's tough.
What if the flight? It's like it'll probably be full.
Wait,
They've all
I'm
been
sorry.
full.
Am I
Yeah.
invisible all the time?
No.
No, okay, fine. You can choose. You can choose when to be invisible.
All right. All
Sure.
right. Yeah.
I'm going flight because of the travel.
Oh,
It's freezing, you idiot.
It's freezing.
Yeah, Superman can fly
I'll
like that
also say
because he's
this.
fine. He can just do that. You're going to show up with bugs all over
Well, I
your
go
face and
invisible
hair.
because I could I feel like I could really be a great informant and find out information for like the FBI or the CIA.
Wow, is that what you want to do?
Oh, but if you expose yourself as that to them, they will own you forever.
But if I was
Yeah.
invisible,
Episode
well,
about-
first
If any-
of all,
if
if I was
any drama
invisible,
has taught me
I could
anything.
go and kill Putin. I could
That's
go like
true.
literally.
That is a hypothetical situation, 100%. And
Ray
we
is
are
very
happy.
pro-Russia.
No, I'm not pro-Russia. I just don't like.
I feel like you can
pro
do more
not
good.
being killed by Russia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Invisible. If you're invisible, you have potential to do a lot of good and a lot of evil.
True.
Sure. Most of it though is nefarious, right?
Deceitful.
So I guess if you fly anywhere, you could fly and kill someone and then fly away.
I'll also say this. All right, Ray, you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier you don't love stairs. Power of flight helps with that.
Now here's why I would ultimately choose flight, right? Because of my obsession with death and the terror that comes with it.
You can never fall
I
off
want
a
to
thing.
fly. I want the ability to fly only basically as a safety mechanism.
Yeah, right.
No matter what, because I'm afraid of flying, I have to take Xanax whenever I fly.
Oh, so if you're in a plane,
So
that
if
goes
I
down,
can
you
fly, I'm
away.
like,
Yeah, it's true.
I'm fine. Although then I would start thinking about, yeah, great, I can fly, but I'm in this metal tube that's plummeting to the ground.
well, you could
Right.
press the ejection. It would be really
Oh,
sad
it's
for
not
everyone.
James Bond's.
I was gonna say,
No,
most of the flights I've been on, they've gotten rid of the ejector
They've got
seats.
rid of the ejector
Not the
seat,
ejector
yeah.
seat. I'm sorry, not the ejector seat, but there's always that.
They're still on Spirit.
Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't open it. Maybe you can't open it. But every time I go to the flight, when I go to the bathroom, there's always that like door thing that it's just like.
Oh hell
turn
yeah!
this and
yeah,
Don't you?
yeah.
Don't you
Turn
every-
this and it goes
Yeah, every
opens and
time-
everyone flies away.
Every time
Yeah.
I see that handle, I'm like,
Should I?
Well, I'm also like, is that locked or can anyone just open? That
I think
has
you
to
can
be
do it.
locked. No.
I think you can do it.
Because then anyone could couldn't you just kill every? I guess maybe you couldn't kill.
you know what? I like the idea of someone doing it, and then they find out it's just like a big elaborate sticker
Yeah.
to give you the illusion of safety.
But also, if you could fly,
It's like
and-
the seatbelts.
and a plane was going down, and you flew away, everyone would be like, "Oh, he's a superhero. He's gonna come back."
Yeah, and I'm like,
but then you just all die.
You'd be like,
Well,
I don't have the strength.
I can
Yeah.
only fly.
They're
I'm not
just
strong.
dying.
I
Like,
have
was that
nothing
superhero
else.
just
I'll say
saving
this.
himself?
I'll say this. I'm on the same flight, but I'm invisible. I
Yeah.
see Ray jumping out. I'm hanging onto his leg. He doesn't know I'm
Ray's like,
there.
what the hell is going
My
on?
balance is
yeah.
off. Yeah, there's an.
My doctor said I lost 2 pounds.
Yeah, maybe. but it would be sad to be invisible, but you're still dying in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Invisible, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
because there's no body.
Yeah.
They're going through. They're like, all right.
Yeah, I do think you would get hit by a car. If you were actually invisible, you would die very quickly. 'Cause
Yeah, I think
so
so.
much of society is you're not in harm's way because people can see you.
Well,
Well, I
think
also
you're-
think you would be found out so easily because if you are invisible, if there was an invisible man or woman or NB non-binary
Yep.
in this room, we would pretty quickly realize
You'd be
that
like
there was
this
a
room's-
body there.
You'd be like this room's haunted. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this
Something's
chair
up.
won't move.
Yeah.
Probably see
I bumped
footprints.
into
You see
something.
Footprints on the
But,
ground.
yeah, you smell them,
we
you
do
hear
have
them.
sand all over.
Yeah.
You'd hear like a fart and it just
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
right,
the other thing.
yeah.
What if you breathe real heavy?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can invisible people? You can hear their breathing, right?
Yeah.
What if
right.
they have to sneeze? They
Yeah.
cough. They
I guess
fart.
it's hard to be invisible because if everyone's just quiet, you're just here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit, they can hear me, and then you hear them running out.
That's why I didn't want to watch the new Invisible Man movie with
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss
Yeah.
because I was like, well,
You didn't
if-
find it realistic.
exactly, and I was like, if it was true, there'd be farts. I want the fart. Release the fart cut.
Release the invisible fart cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has truly been
But I
an
would-
insane ride of a
Really,
conversation.
it really has.
Yeah.
But I would be invisible so that I could look at naked women.
I know that's a part of it.
Really?
But you're,
Really?
but
It just
you're not
boils
supposed
down
to
to
say
that,
that.
huh?
You know, it's
Yeah.
tough.
It does just
But
boil
then,
down
but
to
then
that.
also like kill Putin and shit. So like I'd be like giving more back.
Yeah,
you know what I
you're
mean.
taking.
Yes, I'd be like watching a couple of naked women. We all would. It's not like we could act like we wouldn't, but
Yeah,
we would. You know what I mean?
right.
I like going to just watch a couple people shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like real life porn. But I would also, before you get offended, I would kill Putin. I would, do something to Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Give him
do
laxatives
something.
or
Yeah,
something.
You got to eat the rich.
I would overhear.
yeah.
I would listen to Trump and like overhear shit and then like feed it to the.
I think if you were an
that's good.
invisible man secretly listening to whatever Donald Trump is saying, I think you would just go insane. Oh, it wouldn't last. You'd last 30 seconds
It
before
is-
you go, "What the fuck are
Well,
you
it's
talking?"
scary to think of Trump when he thinks no one's listening.
Oh, sure. No, you know what happens when Trump, when he knows no one's listening? Trump is just like,
Well, I mean,
Turkey in a straw.
I'm hungry. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
no,
it's just,
I mean, they're like when he thinks other people. Oh, not like when, if he's just talking to someone. You know, like what
Yeah.
there was. I was listening to. They were talking about an exchange he had with Kelly or someone where he was talking about like he was like they were doing some military thing and he's like, I don't want any wounded veterans on the stage because they just it makes me look bad.
Right,
Wounded
right,
veteran.
yeah.
He literally said that, and they're like, but there are heroes, and he's like, yeah, but it's just kind of gross.
they're downers. I don't like it. They bum me out.
Like he literally
They make
said
me
that.
sad.
Like that's like the kind of shit he says.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When people are listening, like
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I could make it, maybe 60 full seconds before just. Are you fucking kidding? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's what
have
I'm
to
saying.
react
Yeah,
to
right.
some inane
Trump
thing that's
is
being
so
said.
the opposite of patriotic that it makes someone like me who's not like naturally that patriotic be like patriotic.
Yeah,
like I'm
no,
like,
I agree.
fuck you, those are our wounded veterans. You know what I mean?
Did you see the really ugly one though? His face was all mangled and shit.
All the dead soldiers in the monument, they're all
bummer.
losers. They're all
Big
losers.
downer.
I'm like, this is fucking America. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which is funny because anytime you see a guy wearing an American flag now, you're like, that guy
There's
is
a fucking guy.
it's
yeah,
scary,
which is
dude.
weird. Like, it's weird to judge someone because they're wearing the flag of the country you live in.
Right? Yeah, I know. It's it's fucked up.
Weird to be like I'm a Yankees fan, but everyone who wears Yankee outfits are fucking psychos.
How about this? The one thing I would enjoy doing
Also
if I
accurate.
was an invisible man and I was secretly around Donald Trump, I would have so much fun just getting right on the side of him and blowing his hair during any kind of interview or anything. I
Because
just
it's-
But I feel like no one would think twice about it. They'd be like, yeah, his hair blows. That makes sense.
just to see all of that slowly go in front of him. Oh, amazing.
Someone keep blowing my hair.
I'm right behind his shoulder. I'm just saying like. Because he it's not like he's a
Ooh,
great
drive him
cognitive
insane.
process. Well, no,
Drive him
I think
insane.
I'm feeding him lines to say.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
and he just
teleprompter.
picks it
And-
up, and he thinks he
thinks it's his conscious.
He thinks it's his mind thinking. He's
Yes.
like, I can hear my thoughts.
Yeah.
My thoughts are telling me I'm hungry.
We need someone who's really good at doing an impression of him
I know.
to
I know.
be the invisible man.
Unfortunately, no one has ever tried it.
Yeah, it's true. He's the
We just
one.
don't know.
He's unimpressionable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very
problem
tough.
with Trump is that he's the problem with Trump is that he's like,
The one issue I have.
Now that I think about Trump, there is a problem.
but ultimately the problem is like he is like both. He is evil, like more evil than people think.
Yes.
But he's also is really funny. So it's
Oh,
this
he's
weird
hilarious,
thing where it's
right.
like he is both evil and funny.
Yeah.
And so when he's funny, you're like, well, he can't be that evil. He's so funny.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He must just all be a joke. But he really is. Like I don't think like when it comes to Trump and you think about like if you're assuming how bad it is something he did, always think it's worse
Yes.
than you think. And
Right.
even, that's kind of the always assume it's worse than it is. Because
Yeah.
it usually is. But he is also funny, which gives him this weird human quality.
For sure.
Where like, oh, he's just a funny clown. But that is kind of the deception.
It's like if Hitler farted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually
Because Hitler wasn't funny. Like he was a humorless guy.
And you know what's hard about that is with Trump, I think the evil is there, but it's very empty.
Yeah.
It's very empty and it's dumb. And it's hard because when you think of nefarious leadership, when you think of somebody being evil and doing horrible shit because they are like they're bankrupt in their soul or whatever.
Yeah.
you think of a really smart, evil, plotting person.
But that's the weird.
But he's just dumb.
But that's
and just
the weird
like
thing.
walks into it.
It's more complex. I think he is dumb on some things, which also makes him seem less evil. But he is very precise in a predatorial way about how to corrupt other people.
Yeah,
so he sees people's weaknesses. And he does something that is a devil-like quality, which he takes people who are kind of like moral cowards, but not awful, and he makes them awful.
Yeah.
So that is like a very, and he knows, he has a reptilian sense of a weakness and how to exploit it.
Right.
And he hates people who like have any kind of integrity. Because so there is that, which is it's I don't know if it's like an intelligence thing. It's more primitive than that.
Right.
But that is like a very crazy thing where he just makes other people like worse people.
I have an interesting point about this too. I just found out, and this is one of those things where it's like, do we want Donald Trump around or do we not?
You just caught up with the 2016 election, right?
Yeah.
Ready? So
I T-vote it. Yeah.
So Trey Parker and Matt Stone obviously created South Park, Team America, all these different things, Book of Mormon. They made like a little deep fake TV show episode on YouTube, and it was starring a guy that they put Donald Trump's face on it. It was called Sassy Justice. It's very funny. And it's produced by them. It's at the same level of South Park. And they were secretly working on a full-length deep fake movie starring a guy where they put Donald Trump's face on it. It went into production like a week before COVID shut down the movie industry. And so they shut it down and they said, we have so much planned for this. We had so much story. We had everything was in motion.
Yeah.
But because COVID shut it down, and now so much time has passed, it doesn't seem relevant. So if Donald Trump gets elected again, becomes a big part of mainstream culture again, we might get this new movie from Trey Parker.
Oh, then it's worth it. Yeah, it's a fair trade-off.
Well, which one do you want?
Yeah, you get to laugh and watch that. Then you slit a guy's throat for a fresh gallon of water. You know, it's a good time.
But it still might not be relevant because he might be on to such worse things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But
I
I think Trump is ultimately very bad for comedy.
Yeah.
no,
I know, me too, because it's
absolutely.
too similar.
It's just,
Yeah.
but
It's-
it's
also,
because it's all
you know,
like the lowest common denominator. The
the rest
comedy
of everything.
follows lowest common.
Well, it's
denominator.
also like it's this very tempting thing comics do where Trump is such a hypocrite. There's such obvious irony in what he does.
Exactly.
So comics are so tempted to be like, oh, let me point out the obvious irony here.
Yeah.
But he's a sociopath without morals. So it's not really hypocrisy to him because he's lying anyway.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like it's actually you're the dumber person.
Yes.
For
Right.
being like. For any Republican, when Republicans are like, when the comics or anyone would be like, oh, so Republicans are pro-life, but pro-gun. And it's like, yeah, but there's very cynical reasons for both those things.
Yes, right.
So it's not like to point out that irony is to assume that they have an ideology that they don't
Exactly.
realize
Right.
is inconsistent
Right.
when they don't. So you're the one who's like the butt of the joke.
And it
ultimately.
requires an
Yeah.
ability for them to. They would have to either have the ability to feel embarrassment
Yeah.
or shame,
Right.
And you can't do that. You can't point out the hypocrisy or something that they've done,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
feel bad.
Oh, and they
That's
don't
why
believe
you're not
it.
going to
So you're
ever
not,
get
yeah.
like an apology
So you're
or
looking.
anything.
The
They're never gonna want
hypocrisy
back.
owns on Trump and Republicans were always such a waste because it was projecting your own value system onto a different group. Because Republicans don't like. For the most part, they're like, yeah, we have to win primaries, and in primaries, you have to appeal to gun absolutists, and pro-life absolutists. On primaries, you have to appeal to the craziest part of the faction, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
So for them to be like, oh, but they're pro-life, but they're okay with school shootings, yeah, they don't care. They're doing it because they're following beliefs and lobbying, and also just their constituents in the
Right,
primaries.
right, yeah,
so it's
sure.
like it's such a dumb thing to like point that out. A lot, you know what I
it's
mean?
tough. I agree.
And I fall temptation to do that too, because they're so dumb sometimes.
Oh,
yeah.
And I had to delete a tweet because it just seemed so. Someone was so dumb it got it out of me, and it was a hack. Kevin Sorbo, the hack goes.
Oh yeah.
Right after
Hercules.
Trump's raid, he goes, "Oh, when is the FBI gonna?" And yet the FBI is not. When are they gonna raid someone on Epstein's list, huh? And it just comes out of you. You just retweet it, going, good news, they just did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then
But it's so
And then it's so obvious,
Yeah.
and then you get some likes, and I'm like, this is probably 100 people have been saying this, but you brought it out of me because you're such a fucking idiot.
Right,
Where
right.
you're like, when are they gonna do it? What are they gonna do on someone's
Right,
list?
right.
It's like,
Yeah.
So like that, it is bad for comedy because
For sure.
comedy should be you letting people see the absurdity of life.
Yes.
But the absurdity is so clear,
Right.
Yeah.
that you're just
You got to point it in a different direction.
Yeah,
Into
or-
something that's a little bit more unique to your view.
Yeah, or make people realize something that they've normalized is actually absurd.
Right.
When
Right,
really
right.
nothing feels normal and everything feels absurd.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like a hard thing. I mean, you can still do it, but like, I don't think it's necessarily.
Yeah.
And you're
you know?
running, right?
I am running. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your comedy special.
Yeah, hell.
So what's the deal? So when did you
Only
film
fucking
this?
reason I'm here. No, I'm joking.
Hey, I shared a lot of personal shit with you.
I'm joking. This has been very fun.
When did you
really
when did you
great.
shoot it? You shot it fairly recently. the past-
April 11th.
Yeah.
I was gonna shoot it in December, and then the Omicron happened.
Yes, I remember
a couple
this.
days before I was about to do it.
I remember
Very
this.
depressed about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually wanted. Was who shot it?
Salacuse.
Salacuse, our
Yeah.
buddy Matt
Yeah, yeah.
Salacuse, great guy.
Great guy,
yeah, great dude. I wanted to be there, but I was actually in Rhode Island at the time. And when is it coming out? What's the release date?
So it's going to come out September 14th on, we shopped it around, and it recently got picked up by my YouTube channel, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
Yeah,
I
great.
hear the top brass there is a real pain in the ass.
It is. We had to negotiate,
Gatekeepers.
but
Gatekeepers.
I had to convince myself that a stand-up special by me would be something that they're looking for on my YouTube page.
Yeah.
And
That's a hard sell. I got to
That's a
say it
hard
right
sell.
away. That's a hard
Because
sell.
everything else on my YouTube page is me.
Right.
So it's all just stand up for me. So I think
like-
what they really look for more than anything is just a long set,
Right.
well shot of me.
They
Yeah,
want,
you-
they
you
want some
got-
diverse voices.
Yes.
It's a little
Not
oversaturated.
just-
A little oversaturated.
Can I do my joke now?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah, you got like a version of a Weinstein situation there, right? That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do a thing about you
I gave myself a
molesting
massage.
yourself,
Yeah.
essentially. Bringing it all the way back to
You sit at your desk and then you're like you press the button and the door locks.
no, you
and
got
get out and you go around.
Remember when
and
you
you sit
masturbated in that plant? I think it was a FICA.
Yeah, it was probably a ficus.
And I remember thinking,
Ficus.
ficus. That's how little we care about women. More people remember the name of the plant than any of the women he molested. I don't remember the women, but it was definitely a ficus. I know.
Yeah.
That was the story that came. That was the story that got spread too. Like it was like, all right, now it's gone too far.
Home and Garden had to scrap certain articles.
See, like I think that, and I'm not trying to be a devil's advocate here.
no.
I just don't know if it needed to be part of the story. Does anyone else feel that way?
Do you think
jacking off in a plant?
Do you think Weinstein was like, "Fuck my whole life, I'm fucked now. I really did this to myself. I'm a piece of shit." And then the plant part comes out, like jerking off in the plant. And he's like, "But that and now that's even like it's just weird." And
The only way to
embarrassing."
get liberals against him is to show he's not environmentally conscious. So they're like, now you
But
know.
I mean,
what I mean?
is the plant okay?
Yeah, does that kill? Well, the plant never consented.
Did you ever see? Did you see how that plant was dressed? No, I was gonna go with like, but why is that part of it? I don't understand that.
Why is
I
that
know.
detail?
Why
included
is
in the
that
story?
detail in his thing?
why
And also,
is it?
We all know that he forced women to do sexual things with him,
Yeah.
and that he jacked off on a plant. Why are these two things
I
linked?
talked to one person once who was like, was there another woman in the room and he was masturbating in the plant? And I'm like, yeah, it was about a woman. He wasn't like auditioning a plant for Little Shop of Horrors. Like,
That's a good joke. I love that.
You know what I think Chuck's
Little
issue
Shop.
is?
Play
Is
Audrey?
he doesn't understand why people would be so concerned with someone freely ejaculating on random objects.
I think this story was.
That's a callback to another episode with Chuck having a insane reveal.
Well, I was taking these like Mexican like dick bigoting pills, and like
L beginning, please.
The new worst part of the story.
and
is that
they didn't
phrase.
affect the size of my penis at all,
Blue
but they
chew.
made me cum like 3 ounces, or like way too much cum, and I just did it on my desk.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, see, this is fun.
I was getting a lot of
and
complaints about fucking women. They're always like, "There's just not enough cum that I have. You got to get more cum."
We need some more.
I'm working on a formula.
But yeah, so I think, I mean, I just
It's
don't
just
know.
a salacious detail. I mean, I think,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so
I think
much
so.
of.
I think it's just a weirdness, and people go, "Oh," and it's
but
something
so much
to
of the
talk
Harvey
about, but
Weinstein
it's kind of
thing
innocent.
Was salacious too. It's a kind of mix of.
It is.
you know,
It's titillating because it's a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so much, and it's all coming out at the same time. And he clearly looks like a shitty villain, so it's kind of fun to see the
Right.
shitty
I
villain.
will say, just this is my real thought. This is not me being funny. I do think we shouldn't include funny, weird stuff with serious allegations. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But it's stuff that's captured where you just go, what? Like, it's happened with like celebrities getting divorced, and there's information in the divorce paperwork where you're like, oh, that happened. You know what I mean?
it just makes it like a silly thing. It almost, to me, it softens the
Yeah,
blow.
I guess
Right,
it's hard
right,
to
yeah.
like control it because I feel like someone told that story,
Right.
And then you can't be like, well, don't mention the plant part.
Here's a good example. Let's say, so Bill Cosby, that's like a true molesting guy, terrible guy, did all these things. What if it's like, and he used to wear a little cowboy hat and run around the room with a feather duster in his ass?
Yep.
That would become the focus.
I got to
And
talk
it's
about
silly.
it. I'm
but if
sorry,
you're
but I would
silly.
focus
But if
on
you're
it
a
too.
journalist, you're not like.
Yeah.
That's silly.
But it's a lack of journalist integrity to be like, let's take this out because then you're controlling the story.
That's true.
And
you need other
can't
stuff
you
too.
can't control the story.
Aren't
for
you
that.
going to gravitate towards it though? You
Yeah.
know what that is? That's the girl in the little red coat at the end of Schindler's List, where it's like, hey, this is all horrible, but this one extra little detail is making it
Extra horrible.
even extra horrible.
Okay,
yeah.
maybe, yeah.
I think
It's in the
that
middle.
idea.
You clearly walked out at that point and was like, that's clearly the end of the movie.
No, it comes back at the end. It comes back at the
Oh,
end.
that's right. She's dead. Yeah. I always thought that point was unnecessary in the movie. I thought it was like.
It humanizes the atrocities.
I feel like it's weird that we like show all these Jews being killed, and we're like, we really got to do some special effect to really make people feel bad right now. Like, I feel like it's like we feel bad. We can just watch. I mean, I know it's Spielberg. It's like think a bunch of Jews get killed. It's just not enough. I think if we highlight one of the children, then we can. I just don't think you need special effects. In that
Sure,
movie.
yeah.
I hear you. So what is the name of the special?
Okay. Yeah. Oh no. So I was gonna shoot it in December, and then everyone got COVID at the same time, so I had to postpone.
But you still kept the name Christmas with Raanan.
Yes, exactly. And then I was worried my COVID material in it was going to be outdated. Boy, was I wrong about that.
yeah.
But
This special can come out in like 10 years.
I know. It's called Jokes from the Underground.
Yeah.
Good name.
I've taped it at the Village Underground.
Perfect.
Why not Jokes from the Village?
Well, it's also
The
a reference.
Underground's fun.
Well, it's a reference
That is
to
just a goof.
the Dostoevsky.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
yeah. He doesn't really read.
It's not that he doesn't really read; it's that he.
Well, no,
he
you
can't
asked
read.
why not the Jokes from the Village. That's why I thought it
I
would be
was
like.
just doing a goof because that was the other word
Okay,
in the title. And then this guy's like, he's illiterate.
Yep.
It's like, I haven't read Brothers Karamazov, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'm curious,
That was a Dostoevsky.
But yeah,
You
so
piece of shit.
Dostoevsky is Dusty.
Yeah, you read coloring books, asshole.
We're just
You jerk off on them. You jerk off on coloring books. Those are your fucking spank mags, you son of a bitch.
He's still trying to talk, and you're like,
Raanan, shut the fuck up.
You fucking read coloring books.
Fucking read coloring books, piece of shit.
So
You hate
base.
Mad Libs because it makes you write things. You don't know how to hold a pencil. You hold it like this, and you write like that. You fucking asshole.
let me just get the plug out of there.
I want to say,
Like our fight interrupts it.
They're like, no one hears a special
listen,
name.
no one-
What was the special name? Jacking off in a coloring book? What was it?
Sorry.
I looked for the special coloring. You read coloring books, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it.
I found other videos that were equally as interesting.
Jokes from the underground.
Jokes from the Underground, and it's gonna be on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, on September 14th. So I hope, like, can we put this out once it's already out?
I'm gonna put it out like whatever the Thursday is right after this.
That'd be
is what I'll put
great.
out.
So it'll be out by the time you're hearing this.
absolutely.
So go on my YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
Type in Raanan Hershberg, Raanan Hershberg. It'll pop up, and it'll be right there, and then you can see it. You can also see it on my Instagram. There'll be a link, and my Instagram is Raanan Comedy, Raanan Comedy. But I like the special. I feel proud of it. I worked a lot on it. Sally Hughes did a great job, and
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's really good. So I hope people can, fucking watch it.
Well, one of the things that's been cool, like because I moved to New York. I'm working a lot with Mark Norman and Joe List for Tuesdays with Stories. It's cool because a lot of times I'll see people on Instagram just scrolling, and I saw Raanan, like super funny, like reels and clips and stuff like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
And then
The
it became,
characters are awesome.
it was just like an organic thing that then it was revealed that Joe is close friends with Raanan. I didn't even know that. I just saw it. I was like, oh, this guy's super funny.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was just a coincidence. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we're close friends. I live right above him.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, and we did a podcast.
Yeah. Joe and Raanan talk movies.
Joe and Ron talk movies. Yeah, Joe's great. Yeah, yeah, and I'm friends with Mark too.
Yep.
Yeah, the great guys.
We
and-
met. I think we met at Joe's special taping. I think that's
Oh
the first time we met.
yeah. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
His special tape was right before.
It was right before that, wasn't it?
Oh right. Well, so he had the two specialty. He had the one right before like the pandemic.
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Which was that was it was like he got it right under the wire, and then he had another one that was right under the wire.
Yeah. It was. I
like-
was at the
yeah.
second one where Aziz taped the same night in the cellar.
Oh, was that
That was upstairs.
the same night of Joe's second taping or first?
Yeah, second.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It came out on Netflix like immediately. Like that was like the half-hour one that was like way shorter. They were doing that filming at the same time as this one.
Yeah, his special was called Nightclub Comedian.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was even calling mine Rich Indian Tours Arenas, but if we're gonna cosplay,
This guy stole my whole thing.
if we're gonna cosplay as something we're not,
And you said you wanted to,
nightclub comic, just going to the cellar and bumping every single person.
and you said you wanted to come on and you were going to do 10 minutes of the
Yeah, we can do it right now.
Yeah.
Do you have the microphone?
Yeah, well, that's great.
There
There
you
you go.
yeah.
By the way,
Like a
everybody,
Spalding
we're
Gray
a
situation.
Very
Please
drunk
welcome
audience.
Raanan Hershberg or Will Coffin. That would be insane. Can you imagine?
Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Ladies and gentlemen, Raanan Hershberg.
Thank you. It's great to
Over
be
there,
here.
there's like a little fake brick wall.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I should have just committed to it. You would have been like, "Whoa, Jesus!"
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Start up.
Yeah, it's great to be here. We finally
Show your tits.
my fucking mom over there.
I'm a MAGA and you fucked up already. Oh, man.
But yeah, it's yeah. So yeah, I had a total brain fart.
No,
Sorry.
I can't wait to see
So
it, man.
the special,
Yes,
yeah.
I thought I was gonna have more information, but I realized that's all I.
No,
That's
it's
really
okay.
it,
and it's
you know?
funny. Is it good stuff?
It's
Is it good stuff?
It's pretty good.
Or
yeah.
is it just shit you wanted to burn? Is it good stuff?
Oh no. I mean, it's
You know what you could do?
What?
Sorry,
What?
I have a marketing thing you could do.
yeah.
You should just buy
Shoot
a
a guy.
URL that's like super simple, and that'll link directly to the video. You can make one. You could just have.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you
like
should-
jokes from the underground.
So I was working with Joe on a bunch of the 4th of July stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, you got to go to this website /this/this," and I'm like, "Joe, I went online and I bought 4thofjulymovie.com for $3, and now that leads to everything.
Oh
So you
wow,
do like
So I'll help you. I'll do that for you.
that'd be amazing. Yeah,
Jokes from the underground.com.
Yeah, jokesfromtheunderground.com,
Piss.nut.
or even
and then that's like a link to the YouTube
it's a link directly to that video.
on YouTube.
You could, exactly. You can
right.
put it to go to whatever you want.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ray,
Yeah.
buy
Then
the
you can,
URL
then you can
right
just
now.
plug that URL all the time. You don't have to say go to YouTube, type this in. You can just go to this website.
Squat on that
That's it.
domain,
Oh,
Ray.
that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I guess let's just say we've done it. Jokes from the underground. Well, I don't know what that
Yeah.
thing would be.
I bet-
I have some bad
bet
news.
jokes
I just bought it, and
If you want it.
jokesfromtheunderground.com is very expensive. But you can always get the .biz.
You know what?
No, I just
I'm
got
not
the
kidding.
.biz.
We'll hold off for 30 seconds, and I'll make sure it's available, and we'll grab it.
Okay.
Let's see. So,
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3.
30 seconds. Jokes from the underground.
I'm glad my son seeing a dead body today could allow us
That was
to.
today?
It
Yeah.
was right before you
Lit-
got
yeah.
here. That's why it was in my head.
Oh,
and I
wow.
couldn't
Interesting.
stop fucking thinking about it, so I threw it out there. And I apologize
probably
for
be
taking
fine.
the whole thing.
$2.99 for a year.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Jokesfromtheunderground.com.
Yeah. Jokes from the because that's the one I should do. Yeah, of course. Jokes from the
That's jokes with a Z.
So yeah, go to jokesfromtheunderground.com. Jesus, that's a great idea.
So
yeah.
you can go to jokesfromtheunderground.com and you can watch the special right
Take
now.
your plug
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Restart
Go.
your plug.
All right. Say the coloring book thing. Sorry. And then I'll-
You read coloring books.
can
you
I fucking
idiot.
do my plug? God damn it.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead. Oh, you just did the
By the
thing
way-
that the handicapable man did.
By the way, this is my life. This new podcast is.
Go.
wait.
So go to jokesfromtheunderground.com or Go to YouTube, type in R-A-N-N
You lost confidence.
space H-E-R-S-H-B-E-R-G. Jesus, this is so important. Yeah, jokesfromtheunderground.com. Yeah.
Jokesfromtheunderground.com for Raanan's brand new special. It's free to watch. You just click on it, have a great time. Super, super funny. Everything I've seen from you has been killer.
Oh, that means
Always
a lot.
excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You scroll through your Instagram and you see a lot of comics come up and you're like rolling your eyes. Every time you come up, I watch it.
Oh, that means a
literally
lot.
every
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed your set when we sort of met under the stars in that tent.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the tent surrounded by hay.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night.
I think Sixpence None the Richer was playing.
Yes. Yeah.
You beside the bearded barley.
I was the bearded.
I love being part
was
of
the barley.
inside jokes from previous podcasts.
No, it was not.
That was the song.
The song
or complete
Kiss Me.
gibberish.
Yes.
That was going to be the name of the podcast. But it was taken.
But yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is great. It was
Yeah.
great to actually sit down because we've never really had to have like a sit down and talk for a while.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot of meeting for a minute. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, man? So it's great to kind of sit down and talk.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
stuff.
love to have you back on sometime.
Oh, of
too.
course.
That'd be
Anytime.
great.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, there are three of us to talk about it. But
Yeah, we got to talk. We got to talk.
We'll put it to a vote.
We have a huge MAGA following.
Yeah.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our hats just came in. They're red hats, and they say "Make,
America great again."
No, make America great again with Funbearable. And I don't think they're gonna sell.
We got them at a good price.
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Well, folks out there, thank you so much for listening and or watching. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. It means a lot that you take your time to hang out with us.
Of course, my pleasure.
Yeah,
And
great, man.
if you want to get a hold of us, always feel free to reach out to the podcast and the three of us at funbearablepod@gmail.com or hit all the social medias. It's just Funbearable literally anywhere.
Yes.
And you will find us there. I think we just started the Truth Social account.
Yes.
So we've got that going.
Oh, yeah.
And we got challenge coins.
Yeah.
Those are really working out well. Commemorative coins, those are good. We're gonna have a commemorative coin of a molestation from this episode. That'll be good.
Each episode has a coin.
Yeah, the desk.
A
covered in
6-year-old girl
jizz
being
is
like,
a-
make out with him.
Yeah.
And it's just him going, I'm not ready.
I'm waiting for someone
I'm a virgin. Get away from me. My chastity is important. How dare you rush me? I'm feeling this is not a safe space.
How dare you rush me? It's so
So I want to thank you, Raanan Hershberg, for being here, and I want to say on behalf of Brad, I'm doing this one, I guess now.
Do it, Ray.
On behalf of Brad Rohr, Chuck Staten, myself, Ray Harrington, I want to say sorry for being Funbearable.